Hey guys, hi everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Smart Office. Today we are very excited to welcome a young and coming entrepreneur, and with equal in the AI space. And we're going to hear about the story. And Sam is the up and coming uh, CEO starting a small business in AI space. And so we're going to hear about it called Vizina Express. So Samuel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Welcome to this podcast. And we're happy and excited. And thank you for accepting our invitation. Uh, we're going to talk about your journey, a lot of your things, what you're doing, what you're doing now. So a little bit about yourself, Sam. What currently are you up to?
Yeah, so currently I'm exploring the AI space. For the past about, I say, 5 to 8 months, I've been head deep into AI, learning everything from the ground up. And yeah, so I'm just really into AI right now, fully learning about everything in that field.
Great. So, tell us a little bit about your business, Vizina. Vizina? Is it
Yeah,
Vizina or Vizino?
Vizina. Vizina.
Vizina. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Tell
you're
us a
at
little bit. What do you guys do, and yeah, what were your customers?
Yeah, so at Vizina, we're basically revolutionizing the content creation and video production game, essentially combining that with AI, with AI and AI agents. So what we do is that now a lot of the AI tools have gotten advanced to the point where you can create real life looking content and videos. So what we do is we help people bring their visions to life using AI filmmaking. So we work with marketing agencies, podcasts, music artists. We made a music video recently for these big artists, and we do things like that. We make AI videos for them, as well as we also implement AI agents to pair with the videos to help boost revenue and engagement for those videos as well. So that's basically what Vizina is.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Seems like people don't have to put out huge budgets to produce videos like music videos, movie videos. How does that work a little bit?
Yeah.
How is that like when you work with their clients? What's their typical demand like?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so people have different requests. It depends on what you want. It's basically based on use case. Some people like having montage type videos. Some people want music videos. Some people want actual like films, small movies, and we can basically make all of that happen, all of that come to life. Before in the past, you need like thousands of budgets. You need $1 million budget, 250,000 budget just to get Hollywood quality. But now with AI tools and the right people that know how to use the tools, you can essentially get Hollywood quality media or video content in a few clicks of a button with the right tools. And you're not going to pay any amount close to how much you'd be paying if you were to actually hire in house to actually get these recorded for you. So essentially, we aim to reduce the cost as much as we can using AI to leverage that, and we can make anything happen from any single style.
So, who would be your typical customers? Like, who are the people who approach you? What are like the people who need your services? And some people probably are not aware of your services. So, would you probably talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so our typical customer can honestly be anyone. We help anyone create viral looking videos. We ran campaigns for people that have done millions of views on Instagram, and essentially what we do is we create you a viral video that's guaranteed to go viral using AI, as well as just marketing campaigns. We recently we work for people from real estate agents, we work with insurance companies, we work with crypto, we worked with music artists, we've worked with podcast people. We've done so many different things in so many different verticals, and we can essentially help anyone create any vision they have in their mind, actually bring it to life. Like there's no limits to it when it comes to AI. So if you wanted to be in the middle of Paris, seeing something about your podcast, we can make that happen. So it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter the scenario. Essentially anything can happen with the AI videos, and we can also develop full scale marketing campaigns for some people. If you want a full scale marketing campaign, we can also implement that as well. So
wow, that's cool. So wow, this is great. I mean, seems like AI is just changing the dynamics of everything, every space, everybody, people, things that we thought they were impossible, they're coming to light. But how did you come about this? Like how did you get about getting the skills, starting a company? How has it been so far?
yeah. So essentially, I've been exploring entrepreneurship and just kind of just building a company since I was very young. Since I was about maybe 11, 12, or 13 years old, I started off with just selling things in my backyard on marketplace and things like that. I used to also like resell things online on online games. Used to sell like different like Fortnite things like on gaming accounts and stuff like that. Then I eventually just kept over the years I kept building my skills in entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, and then eventually now recently I just finished my first year of university, and this summer I was exploring what I wanted to do, exploring how I can leverage AI for enhance my future. Since I do know AI is going to completely change every single industry as we know it. No industry is not going to get affected by AI. So I was trying to make sure I'm on top of that. So this summer I basically studied AI from the ground up. So from the basics of LLMs to AI agents to automations, I learned every single thing about AI. I coded different SaaS products. I made I launched a program where I taught other people AI as well. I did many different things in the AI field, and then that kind of led me on to learn about AI filmmaking and AI agents, which I realized that there was a big gap in the market needed for that. And I realized that it could help a lot of people bring their ideas to life. So now, essentially, then I created Vizina, which was actually originally just creating customized images for people and customized images for brands and people who needed marketing images, which we ended up scaling and we scaled that, and now we kind of just merged that all into Vizina, where we do videos, images, and full scale marketing for companies. So that's kind of how my journey kind of looked like.
Wow, that's cool. Wow, that's a lot. I would like to know a little bit when I go on your website. It's very cool videos. Your website has all these. So you're saying that these videos they're all AI generated. I mean, I'll advise the listeners to go on Vizina and see what's there. Amazing videos, amazing. I mean, I would not even believe these videos were staged, made, and done in-house by Vizina. What are some of the challenges you've been facing in the industry when it comes to maybe marketing, sales, or production? What are some of the pain points?
Yeah, so some of the pain points that could come in when you're actually trying to develop these AI systems is actually trying to get the client to understand maybe the capabilities of it, right? Because some people might not think that it can do the things that we say it can do, because a lot of people don't really realize how vast AI is and the type of things AI can create. So so the biggest thing is trying to actually make the person you're working with understand the capability of the AI. Because once you understand the capability of the AI, your ideas will just naturally be better. But we also do help with idea creation. So if you don't have a good idea, we still help with that. But I really like a lot of people don't realize still to this day how vast AI could do and how much things AI can help with. So
Okay. Wow, that's cool. I mean, there's a lot in the AI space now. Um,
mhm.
Given you've been in the AI space for as a young entrepreneur for probably about almost a year now, what has been the change you've noticed in the last couple of months? What are some of the areas that you've seen the most change, the most dynamics and moving? And as a young man, there are many young people uh, just excited about AI, but what what is it actually? What do you understand by artificial intelligence and all the LLMs and everything, agentic AI and things like that? What impact has it got in our workspace?
Yeah, so within the workspace, it's completely revolutionizing everything. So essentially, anything you do if you can do something twice, it can be automated. So when it comes to even emails, if you can send if you know you're doing something more than once, that what you're doing right there can be automated. So essentially, it's gonna revolutionize every field from education to tech to consulting, and we've been seeing this over the past 8 months. Like different, it's getting better every single week. Every single week, a new AI model is coming out. Every single week, a new LLM company is releasing something new within the
Wow.
AI space in a different vertical. So you can imagine 1 year from now how it might look like. So it's really important to stay up top of these AI trends and what's going on with AI because if you know how to leverage these skills within your industry, you can be unstoppable. So even just in the past 3 months, we've already
Wow.
seen multiple new releases from OpenAI, Claude, and Gemini. They're releasing very rapid, very fast, and these companies are aiming to ship as fast as possible because the AI race is very real, and internationally, they're also competing against countries like China as well. So they have to make sure they're on top of shipping these updates. So we're only going to see them improve more and more, faster and faster. So
Wow, cool. Well, as a young and coming entrepreneur, what has been your biggest challenge? Like,
Yeah, so my biggest challenge would I would say has definitely been learning how to actually do good marketing. Because when you're actually coming up with how to actually when you're building a business, you have to understand how to market. Because if no one knows, if you have a product, no matter how good your product is, if you can't market and put it in front of people, there's no point of having that product at all. So my biggest challenge was actually overcoming that hurdle of learning how to market and learning how to distribute my products effectively. So that's essentially something I've been focusing on more recently and trying to get better at client acquisition and distribution, as well as just my overall marketing skills and learning how to do simple things, even like Facebook ads, learning how to optimize my Facebook ad strategy the best, my media buying, different things like that. I had to definitely funnel that in and also work on my funnel as well. So that's definitely been the biggest
Wow.
hurdle, but I'm happy to say that I've been overcoming it slowly and slowly. So
Yeah. For most people, uh, it's mostly people when they hear of AI, they hear of ChatGPT, but it looks like it's not only ChatGPT when it comes to AI. So, can you let us know a little bit more about this Smart Office podcast was created about around creating awareness to let people know how the AI is now integrating into our work life, into our workspace, into our life, into our normal life, daily life. So, it's probably not just ChatGPT, but a lot more. What can you say about that?
yeah, it's definitely not ChatGPT, not only just ChatGPT, and there's definitely countless of tools out there. And a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people don't know about these other tools. So there's LLMs are very vast. It's a very vast field of models. It's not just ChatGPT. You have things like Gemini, you have Grok, you have Claude, you have DeepSeek, you have Quen. You have a lot of different tools, and all these tools serve their own purpose. Essentially, LLMs kind of do the same thing. They all predict the next best output. So they are kind of all similar, but you can have your own personal preference on which LLM you might like better. You might like Claude more than OpenAI based on the way it talks to you, right? But there's different tools in AI, and like there's different tools that can do different things. There's tools that can automate your writing. There's tools that can automate your emailings, right? But essentially, there's a lot of different tools out there, but it's all kind of based around LLMs. And then you have video generation, you have image generation, and then you have like sound generation. So it's kind of like it's very vast. It's definitely not just ChatGPT.
Wow. Yeah, a lot. That's one of the things. So they certainly definitely not only Chat GPT, but we try to now the AI is with like moving to the next couple of years. How do you see the next 1.5 year in terms of the AI space? How AI is going to be probably integrated into our lives and into things. What do you see in the next couple of months or years? What's going to happen? The speed at which things are moving.
Yeah, so it's only going to keep getting faster and faster. As these AI tools develop, they're only going to get better. So we know today is the worst it's ever going to be. And if we're thinking a year from now, everything we're doing right now might be completely irrelevant and there might be something else we're focusing on, right? Because these AI tools move so fast that if you're not constantly adapting, you're going to fall behind very quickly. And essentially a lot of different things are going to happen. For one that I'm confirmed about is education is going to change a lot in terms of like high school students, college students. They're definitely going to reshape how that's going to look like, because a lot of these AI tools can do a lot of the work that students are doing right now, and they have to figure out a way to actually get students to continue doing work or continue learning and adapting with AI, because you can't just tell them to ignore AI, because if they ignore AI, then they're going to fall behind as well in learning these skills for when they actually graduate and they need to learn these tools in 5 years, 4 years from now when they graduate. It'll be a mandatory skill to learn. So a lot of different fields are going to change, whether you're in health or tech or any field. Honestly, it's all going to get impacted, and we're only seeing it happen more and more.
So, as entrepreneur student, a lot of maybe people are hesitant about adopting AI in their either education or workspace or things like that, because probably some people see it as maybe it's cheating the system
Mhm.
or maybe trying to outsmart. There's usually people, they want people to know what do you say about that, using AI maybe for studies, using AI for work, using AI for daily lives, and people feel like we need to go back the traditional way. How has it been like? How do you look at that integration? Like, how is it coming along?
Yeah, so I definitely say we wouldn't want to go back the traditional way, because in no time of history we've ever gone back to the traditional way in a technological advancement. And this isn't the first time in history where technological advancement has reshaped how the world works. If you think about when Wi-Fi first came out or when the iPhone first came out, it reached everything. If you think about when Google first came out, it was a similar thing. People said they didn't want to adapt to it. People said, why are we using Google when we can just read books and figure it out ourselves? We shouldn't be using Google. But then eventually the world's going to adapt and the world's going to keep using the tools that help leverage their own skills, right? So AI is going to help leverage everyone's skills. So I really recommend using AI because if you're doing something right now, you can be 10 times more efficient at what you're doing and deliver 10 times better results to what you're actually trying to do if you just use AI to help you. So there's definitely no reason to be against AI. There's definitely ways you can, there's definitely your perspective on it as well. If you perceive it in one way, you might use it differently. But if you're using it to enhance your actual work that you're currently doing, there's only benefits. There's no negatives.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, I don't see where we'll find ourselves in a few years from now. Um, I mean, that comes back to, let's come back to Vizina. Vizina. I look back like the product, I'm looking at your website, the things you guys do, the kind of videos. It's like cheating the system because companies put a lot in terms of maybe doing a publicity or doing some marketing or
Mhm.
producing a video, short video, or maybe even movies. But
Yeah.
you're basically sitting somewhere creating these high catchy, high definition videos. And there are people out in the field trying to, basically, you could produce a video in a forest, in any setting. You could be in Paris, you could be in Oslo, you could be in Berlin, and you produce a video that, with that setting, and never moving out of your room or environment. How do you look at this? Like, how does the industry out there, like the competitors now, how are they going to feel? How's the reception been out there? People who are putting a lot of hard work and hours and days and doing these videos on ground, and you are basically just creating these videos and probably in more high quality than what they do. So
Yeah.
how do you look at it?
Yeah, so this is kind of it's a nuanced question. A lot of people have the same question, but this is one of the fields that AI is kind of shaping, right? AI is shaping every single field, and this is not only happening in the video production field and the filmmaking field. It's happening in almost every single field that you're going to look at. If you look at engineering, a lot of coding now is by AI. You still have to have those. You still have to have that foundational knowledge, but a lot of the things you're doing in a lot of different fields can be used by AI. And when it comes to the argument of saying that, hey, it's not as good or you're like taking jobs or whatnot, essentially everyone's going to have to adapt eventually. So if you're adapting earlier, it's better. So what we're really doing is we're adapting right now, and we're also layering our AI skills with other actual video skills we have as well. So that's kind
Wow.
of what we see.
So I'm going to dial back a little bit, like, young person, AI is something new to a lot of people, like very new. But what was your first interaction with AI, and how did you come about, like, just dipping your legs? What piqued your interest? We know a lot of young people are into new technologies, but what was your first interaction like?
Yeah, so my first interaction with AI was, I think, GPT-3, when ChatGPT 3, or I think it was ChatGPT 3 or 2, when ChatGPT app like first came out, when it wasn't in the API anymore and it actually came out to the actual productized software of ChatGPT, that's when I think I saw it on TikTok, or I was scrolling somewhere, and I saw that, hey, there's a new AI thing called ChatGPT. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, wow, this is revolutionary, because you can type in a prompt essentially, and it gives you out everything you need to know, right? And we've never seen that anywhere before. Siri couldn't do that. Google couldn't do that. Before you have to scroll and search for your own information. But now when ChatGPT first came out, it completely changed the whole game. And anyone that was kind of an early adopter to it really, really saw the potential. So that was kind of my first interaction with AI, actually exploring ChatGPT when it first released. And from there, I just kept learning about it, kept leveraging my skills, kept learning about different things in the industry. And from there, it eventually ended up becoming what it is today.
Wow, cool. Let's say in 10 years or in 5 years, 10 years is going to be a very long time when it
Yeah.
comes to AI, because I've heard too that AI is the time span. We use 20 years to move technology, but AI is going to move it probably in 5 years or something like that. And in terms of wealth creation, it's going to probably take shorter time to create
Mhm.
wealth. But what do you see, let's say in 5 years' time, what's something that AI will do for us today that sounds like science fiction? Like, if you're a visionary, like, in 5 years' time, where do things stand? Like if you could do a prediction about our world with AI in 5 years' time at the speed at which things are going, where where do you see us?
Yeah. So in 5 years' time, that's definitely far from now. But thinking about in terms of AGI, I mean, AGI is predicted to happen in 2027, 2028, around that time. But I believe AGI, so in 5 years, we'll definitely have hit AGI, hopefully. And once we hit AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, that's essentially an AI that can do any amount of work or it can reason, think like a human, and its output is as good as a human. And then once we hit AGI, as soon as we hit AGI, essentially right away as we hit AGI, we're gonna hit ASI because all ASI is an AI that's a little bit smarter than a human, than all humans combined. And if you have a bunch of AGI robots combined, that's gonna eventually lead to a quick development of ASI. And once we hit ASI, that's when you start seeing things like new medical cures being found out. Maybe cures to things like cancer, cures to things like Alzheimer. There are different cures in the medical field as well. So that's when we kind of start seeing a lot of revolutionary things to the human body, the human biology, and the world itself. And that's kind of a stretch, but I would say that's kind of the way it's going to end up. And then if you can imagine that things like cancer are being cured, diseases are being cured, and or we're improving our health, you can imagine how other fields might look like. So when it comes to like other fields as well in the world, like even just right now, filmmaking or software engineering or fields like that, those will completely be changed. Everything will look different. And 5 years is a long time. AI is definitely going to impact a lot of different fields. Pretty much every field will be impacted by AI.
Wow, wow, that's cool. I mean, we don't know where we're going to become now in
Yeah.
AI. I've read, I've seen a lot. Like for us, us at Everybrain AI, what we do is we help clients and companies future-proof themselves. There are a lot of small and big businesses. What has been happening? We see lots of businesses, the big ones like Google with Gemini. We see ChatGPT with OpenAI, and then we see Azure, and the big companies, or Meta with Llama and things like that.
Mhm.
But we don't see the small and medium-sized companies. What would you advise? Is there anything you could say to the medium and small-sized companies? There are lots of companies out there. They are confused. They don't know how to adopt the technology. They don't know how to implement it. The skill set is not there. So for small and medium-sized companies, what would be your thought process? How would you say they can adopt AI in their workplaces?
Yeah, so for small and medium-sized businesses, essentially, no matter the field you're in, you should be leveraging AI and learning it. That's even just starting as small as even reaching out to people like you, like Everybrain AI, coming out to people who actually understand the AI tools, who can consult you and tell you how you can implement these in your business. Because right now, if you're a small business, you can essentially have the same level of output like a company like Google or Amazon just by leveraging things like AI agents that can actually automate routine tasks for you. So right now, you can even like, for example, if you're already paying, this is just one example. If you're paying someone who's handling your front desk administrative work, what 10,000 or $5,000 a month, right? You can essentially cut that $5,000 a month cost and make an AI agent actually answer the phone calls for you, and it's still going to handle all the administrative work, and it never sleeps and it never rests. So if you can have something like that, you're already competing to the likelihood of Google, right? You have an AI agent answering every single call at the same time, never sleeps, never rests, and that basically sets up your customer service skills to be like a very large company. So just understanding how to use AI to leverage your routine task and leverage certain things in your business, that already puts you at a major advantage above every other small business and lets you actually compete with bigger businesses. So I would definitely recommend every small business tries to learn about AI or comes to someone like you who's a consultant in AI who can actually teach them how to use these tools.
Yeah, every brain, like given my background as a consultant in the AI, in the tech space, I've watched things change.
Mhm.
Um, things have changed. I've seen the change gone from one thing to the next. Businesses have changed. They have adopted different skill set. They've adopted different ways, and a lot of investment is going to AI. Given you've been in this space for, I know, probably a couple of months or months, and you're looking probably to leverage Vizina,
Yeah.
what are some of the skills? What would you advise, like the young people like yourself or some people of your age group? What would you advise? What kind of skills would you want them to adopt, and what would be the expectations?
So the number one skill you want to learn is problem solving, because if you can problem solve, essentially you can learn how to use AI in any single scenario. Because all leveraging AI is understanding how to apply it to different fields and things in your own life. So if you can look around you and look at things that you do in day-to-day life, and then use that problem-solving skills you have to actually implement AI within it, then you're going to be way faster, way better than everyone you know, as well as having much, much higher quality of an output. So I definitely say your number one thing you should have is problem solving and the skill of taking agency and taking action on things, right? If you're going to say you're going to do something, just do it. You know, don't want to plan things out too long. Taking action and feeling is much more effective than planning out and never attempting to do something. So those are the two main skills I'd say.
Wow, that's good. They've been the job sector is changing at a very fast rate. Um, and certainly the skill set is not the what, and many companies are looking for that skill set to increase production. Some companies are worried. People are saying AI is coming to take their jobs away. Companies are worried that their businesses are evaporating because of AI, because people like you in Vizina are taking away not only actors' jobs, you're taking away producers' jobs, you're taking away places that are producing these videos at settings that tourists is going to be impacted. People used to maybe travel to on sets to do this, maybe these videos, they are no longer going there. So there's going to be a lot of impact. What do you say to those people who are concerned that AI is taking away their jobs? People are losing their jobs because of AI and probably accusing AI of the technology of taking their jobs. What would you say about that?
Yeah, so AI isn't going to take your job, right? You have to learn how to leverage AI because AI isn't going to take your job. Someone who understands AI will take your job. So if you can understand how to use AI and apply it to your own self and understand how to make your life, like make your work revolve around an AI first work, then you will still excel at what you're doing. All it is like every single other technological advancement in human history, right? Every single time we have an investment, you have to learn how to adopt that into your work, right? Before, if you look at people like software engineers, what a software engineer was in the past was clicking a button on, I forgot what it's called, but you just click buttons on this tool, on this physical tool, and that was called a software engineer. But now a software engineer looking at things like Python, coding, different things like that. Even look back in the past, like accountant, not too long ago, maybe 10 years ago, accountants had to use everything on paper. It was all paper desk work. But now you use tools like Excel, different Microsoft tools, different laptop tools, right? So you can use that same perspective and apply it to AI. If we know that every single time a technological advancement happens, we have to adapt to the new tools. If you learn AI, you know you're gonna have to adapt to it eventually. So it won't take your job. It will just simply take someone who it will replace you with someone who knows how to do the same job as you, but better with AI. So all I can recommend to anyone who's scared of or losing their job is just learn AI as much as you can. That's all I can recommend. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So there you go. People, you're out there. A lot of people are concerned about their jobs. The income is going down and they probably losing their jobs, so worried that their jobs are going to go away. As Sam says, somebody who knows how to use AI is going to take a job. It's probably not the jobs are going to be created, but you have to go off. Recently, I had a podcast. Was it a news article from Amazon CEO? He said they're cutting down workers, but they're going to replace them with AI tools or people who know how to use the tools. And so it's people are definitely there's definitely a shift in the job, in the economy, in the job market, and the people are going. Some people are going to lose. So the question is about: do you want to be in the losing end or in the profit making end, or which end would you find yourself? Just like you said, in the age of the computing and other tools, people who knew how to use these computer tools were getting the jobs. And if you were stuck in a job, maybe an accountant who wouldn't know how to use Excel, you're probably going to lose your job because you don't know how to use Excel. Not that the accounting field is going to disappear, but if you're an accountant, you probably have to step up your skills. So it's a reality. It's coming. For us at Everybrain AI, what we do is we continue to consult with companies that need help, and people who need help how to adopt new skills, what skills to learn, or how to prove how to maybe inoculate themselves against the changing economy. But I want to come back to Vizina a little bit about with with every startup, there's usually challenges. What are some of the key challenges that you face now, like going forward? How do you see the market and the challenges that you face? And for everything that has value, there's definitely going to be challenges.
Yeah. So a major challenge that definitely I would be having or trying to overcome is skilling and actually trying to skill my team and have a team around me who has a seats that hiring kind of A players, right? Having an A player team around me who can produce the same level of output as I can, right? So that's definitely a challenge, something I have to learn more about, how to actually scale efficiently to deliver more value to more people at the same time. So that's definitely something I'm trying to work on.
So you're basically saying cannot you're looking at the skill set that can deliver. Is that
Yeah.
how how difficult or how challenging it is to acquire skills in AI in any field you want? Like some people are like, yeah, it's complex. It's
Mhm.
something out there we probably don't know what it is. We don't know how to make use of it, and they're concerned
Mhm.
about the skills and how challenging is this to learn any AI skill? Like companies are now saying you need to step up, maybe learn some of the skills,
Mhm.
prove yourself or future proof yourself against job loss. What what are some of the what are some of the what is the challenge? How difficult it is to learn some of the skills?
Yeah, so it's not difficult at all. Honestly, you can learn these skills pretty fast. Like I learned a lot of skills even just in the last 9 months to a year just by playing around with the AI tools, right? It's not don't worry about studying, don't worry about like doing theory-based things like the back end of an LLM. Unless you want to become like a machine learning engineer, you don't have to worry about those type of technical stuff, right? It's as simple as just opening up ChatGPT, exploring the limitations of it, working around, trying to code different things, using tools like Cursor, Replit, Lovable, trying to code your own apps, trying to code your own things, using things like Claude, different filmmaking tools, different tools, using staying up to date on Twitter. It's as simple as that. You don't have to worry about the back end coding logic of how these AIs work for now. But if you do want to learn that, you can use AI, the AI skills you learn fundamentally to help you learn about how the back end logic works. But the most important thing is learning how to use that, just the fundamental skills of AI, the fundamental skills of how to use an LLM, the fundamental skills of how to use tools like Gemini, things like that. And it's very simple to learn. It's very, very simple to learn if you have the right people around you. You know exactly what to look at.
Yeah. Um, Talking about that, there is a proliferation of tools out there. So many tools, people are getting confused. They don't know what to do, and so thousands and thousands of AI tools out there. And what would be the best approach? Like sometimes, also the tech sector, you're like, are you going to work with GitHub Copilot? Are you working with Windsurf? Are you working with Cloud? What are you going to use? I mean, people are getting confused now because of a proliferation of tools, but we don't know the approach. So, what would be your advice or to people out there, young people who want to learn either some of these skill set or want to use some of these tools? How do you select which tools or which skills to learn?
So, I mean, it just depends on your use case and what you're trying to do. But the best way to actually figure out what works for you is by testing every single tool. That's kind of what I did. I used a lot of different ranges of tools. Then through using these tools, a lot of them have like free trials, free uses you can do. So through using all these tools, I figured out what works for me and what I like better. Like for example, right now, I like using Claude more than ChatGPT because I feel like Claude is less of a lazy model and gives me better outputs that are more scripting, right? But if I want to explore if I want to like analyze videos, I would use Gemini because ChatGPT and Claude can't analyze videos. Even just as simple as that, just knowing the different things, the limitations of each model, you can figure out what works for what scenario and how to apply that into your use case. So I just say the best thing to do to figure out what works for you and what skills are and what tools are actually going to be useful is just by testing a lot of tools because a lot of them have different purposes. And if you can just use a lot, you can figure out what's actually going to work.
Wow, that's cool because we try to exactly what's happening. Like, what's your background? What do you want to do? And what exactly is your dream? Like, it looks like in every field now,
Hmm.
you have a tool.
Yeah.
In every field, probably there is a tool that is existing, and every now and then there are new versions that come up. I've seen how a tool has come out today, and in the next couple of months, the new version came out, which is a lot more improved version of what it is. and they keep getting better and better and better. So before you have a tool and you wait maybe 6 months to 1 year before a new version comes out. But now with the proliferation of LLMs that are coming up every day, tools are integrating, and there are new versions of tools are coming up, and some of these tools have a lot of capabilities. We don't know where we're heading to, but again, you're quite right what you're saying. You need to test them, you need to use them, you need to put in your use case scenario. So usually some of the things we tell our clients is that why don't you try something that what do you want to do? Do you want to do you want to leverage some marketing? Do you want to reach out to leads? There's lots of lead generations out there for people to use. Do you want to create a marketing workflow, something like that, pipeline? How do you get that? And even if you're in real estate, there are ways in which you could get this thing. It's a lot. There are lots of tools out there. Are there any field that you think is can be that would not be any area that you feel like AI is not going to reach it, or that's probably what are some of the areas you feel like, well, maybe AI is not going to impact it that much?
Yeah, so I'd say if you're doing something in blue collar, something like trades, construction, plumbing, it's not going to impact you for now. But eventually, once you start getting humanoid robots and things that are actually walking around acting as humans, then it will impact you. But definitely for the next, I would say, 4 to 7 years, 4 to 7, 8 years, I would say you won't be impacted too much. As well as anyone that's doing something extremely specialized in the medical industry. Like if you're like a neurosurgeon, that won't impact you for some time. But eventually that will happen where AIs do start walking around, and we do have human AI robots who are doing that, and then it will impact you. But I would say for a good few years now, maybe about a decade, you can probably still AI might not reach your field to the extent, but there's always ways to implement AI to actually like leverage your field. Like no matter the field you're in, you can always like even if you're doing construction, you can still leverage AI in construction. There's many different use cases for that. Even if you're a neurosurgeon, you can still leverage AI to learning more about your field and staying up to date on different research topics in your industry. So I would say AI can help every field, honestly. AI can work in every field, but there's honestly no field it won't touch. But if you're talking in terms of actually replacing that job or doing that job, blue collar work and things in specialized medical fields will be a while until AI actually touches that.
It probably comes down to enhancing
Yeah.
whatever thing you're doing. I remember reading an article, I think there was a city in the US, and they implemented, the police department implemented an AI, integrated an AI tool into reporting. And they were actually enjoying it. Like, the idea was they used to spend a lot of time writing reports. Like, you come back from the field, you sit down, you write your report manually, or you type it into a computer and upload it into the system. It takes a while. But since they implemented this tool, the guys are loving it. They take a picture, maybe even if you did it handwritten, take a picture, upload it, and it generates a report for you. All you could do is just scan over it, look and make sure it's perfect. It reflects what you intended doing, and then you file in your report. I mean, there have been many departments where things. I'm thinking the government. I mean, in North America, a lot of companies would be implementing. I'm seeing a change, a shift. Like when I call a customer service department now, and I'm waiting on the phone for probably 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm thinking, well, you need to probably get an agent employed there, because we're getting to an area where agents will be answering these phone calls and probably giving you real information with retrieval augmented generation integrated into companies where they would be generating real information. When they implement RAG with LLMs integrate together, they're going to generate real information, and customer service is going to be well served. People are going to be happier because people are answering their phones. And most of these AI agents that are, they are like, you cannot even distinguish them from a human on the phone, right? If you listen to some of them, you cannot make the difference between, is it a human answering me, or is it an agent, an AI agent? So companies, bit by bit, they are coming to realize that, and the job was shifting. And for people now, I see. So a quick question for you, but a lot of people thinking that jobs are jobs are going to be taken away, do you think we're going to increase the number of jobs being created, or is it going to be leverage out, flatten out, or people are going to be out of work? How do you see that? Like, yeah, but I know with Vizina you're looking out for skills, you are looking for people to work, and you don't have the right skill. So, what do you think about the job market in the future? Probably next 3-4 years.
So 3-4 years, I would definitely say there'll be more jobs in the short term, but in the long term, we might see less jobs. I would say there's gonna be more jobs in the short term just because they're gonna want more AI first people, right? As these tools get better, it's gonna create a few more jobs, it's gonna create more jobs. Like every other technological advancement has always created more jobs, right? But AI is a bit different. But I would say in the next short term, maybe 3 to 4 years, we'll see more jobs. Even me, if I'm trying to hire for Bazina, I want to make sure it's someone who understands how to use these AI tools. Even if you're a filmmaker of many years or you have experience in filmmaking, if you don't know how to use the AI tools, I wouldn't want to hire you. I wouldn't want to have you on my team. That's just one example from my perspective. And I'm not even a big business yet, but imagine bigger businesses like Google, Amazon, or like fan companies, or even just established large scale companies. They're going to want people who understand AI, because what they're doing, every single company is shifting into being AI first, but you can only have an AI first company if your employees are also AI first. So you're going to be seeing more job opportunities coming out for people who understand AI, who know how to use AI in that industry. And then companies are going to want to hire you because you know how to use it. So in the short term, we're going to see more and more jobs being created. But in the long term, we're thinking of things like AGI and ASI. At that point, um, we have to look into a different sort of way the economy is going to run. And I know Sam Altman recently talked about it. If we're still going to have, if money will still be a sense of measurement of like the way the world works. So that's kind of a really long term looking out. But in the short term, I definitely say it's going to create more jobs.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, definitely. When I look back a little bit at what technology has done to the job market, it's been a lot of transformation, and from agriculture with the tractors coming, and there was so when North America was a farming economy, and tractors were invented and took over farming and harvesting. People were like, people cried for losing their jobs, like in the UK when the machines for textile replaced textile and weavers were on protest for doing that. But eventually, it created more products, better products, and probably a job shift, right? Like what's happening now in the US, where people are saying factory jobs come back. When the technology changed, some of these jobs, the factories that were in North America got shipped over to China, and they're producing products at scale compared to what's happening, and people definitely probably benefiting from cheap services. So probably that's what's going to happen. Maybe costs is going to go down, services are going to go up when they leverage, and we're going to have more choice, right? It's going to be a choice, provision choice. But I do believe, just given the way technology has evolved, it's going to be down to skill set, like what kind of skills you want. And if you are a company or a small business that you cannot adapt to the changing skills, I just look at a company or a firm that would not want to buy a truck, invest in a tractor, and hire a driver.
Yeah,
It's going to be go away compared to a farm that has a tractor and a driver. Feeling, I mean, you're going to be on manual work, but some people are implementing some of this technology and becoming more smarter and leveraging the skills of this technology. So definitely companies who do not leverage these skills, who do not take advantage of the era, who do not adapt. It's like, I'm a company and I still continue doing paperwork, meanwhile computers have come in every nook and corner. Now people are taking orders on either a smart device, computer, or things like that. So it's cool. I mean, we're probably concluding this podcast again. I want to really appreciate you accepting the invitation to come on the Smart Office podcast. The Smart Office podcast is hosted by me. What we do is we highlight the changes in AI. We talk about how AI in our daily life, how AI is impacting our work environment and lifestyle. But I want to talk about Vizina a little bit. What are some of your clients like? Have you recently worked on a project that is exciting? What's that project like?
Yeah, so I recently worked with some free artists. I worked with Trey Songs recently. I'm working with the head of the Proven podcast. I'm working with a lot of different clientels, and it's been an amazing experience being able to work with these people and being able to see how they work in the industry and being exposed to this type of things and actually helping them out with their own production, right? And it's just kind of funny because I'm directly involved in actually revolutionizing the industry, working with these people who are big in their own industries. It's kind of crazy seeing how I'm involved in changing the shape of that industry itself, like changing the shape. For example, I made a music video recently. It's kind of exciting to see how I was directly involved in actually changing the shape of how the music industry is going to look like going forward. So that's
Wow, that's cool. I mean, if without AI, where would these people have gone to if they really needed this service? So, what would you say? Where would they have gone to?
yeah. So they would have had to go to people like any film person who like comes in house and records or have to get a place, book a place to record the actual music video, and they would have to hire people to come with the cameras, the crew, and everything, and probably spend a lot more money in actually doing that than just having someone who can make with AI from behind their desk with a laptop. So you know.
Wow. Wow, that's I mean, it looks like there's a lot coming in there. Which should we be afraid of AI? Is there any risk involved? What are some of the risks that we think we should guard against when it comes to this AI?
There's no major risk, but I would say if you are a large scale company, do be wary of using models like OpenAI, Claude, Gemini. I would say definitely try to use more your own like actual local models on like an actual computer you own, just because you want to be careful of intellectual property and like just having any like risk of any company data being leaked. That would be like the only thing I would say to be worried about if you're like a big company who wants to implement AI. Just try to like stick with local models that you have the full control to.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crime to people impersonating others
Hmm.
and scammers using AI to do their business. It looks like everybody's in on the
Yeah.
AI money. Like, how could people uh, protect themselves
Hmm.
against AI impersonators and AI scammers and AIP? So people now using even AI voices
Yeah.
to to reach out to people and
Yeah.
impersonate friends and family members. Like
Yeah.
recently, it looks like somebody impersonated the Secretary of State for the U.S. government and
Hmm.
Marco Rubio and called into something and was looking for something. What would you say? Is this dangerous? Some on that on the fence, like AI is dangerous, bad, or things like that. What do you say?
That's definitely gonna be a growing problem. We're gonna see more and more, but we are trying to find solutions to that. Like there's definitely cybersecurity things trying to happen to fix that. But the only issue is like you guys have to don't believe everything you see on the internet. Honestly, don't believe anything you see on the internet anymore because the internet we're gonna go into a point where it's just dark internet where everything will be fake. Like we're already seeing this now, like on Twitter. A lot of the things you're seeing is like AI generated on social media. Even when it comes to like videos, you're seeing a lot of AI generated content, a lot of AI generated things. So be aware of what you're actually believing and paying attention to. Like if someone calls your phone in a voice and that they're like your sister or something, actually call your sister's number to make sure it's actually her calling. Don't believe everything because AI tools are only going to get more and more realistic, and it's going to come to a point where we can't distinguish what's real or fake anymore. And honestly, I believe it's already at that point. A lot of people can't distinguish. Like with the example, we do have a Xena, our content looks very, very realistic to the point you can't even tell it's AI. So even just like things like that, you want to be very careful what you look at.
Wow, that's dangerous, kind of scary then.
Yeah.
But technology has to evolve. People have to move. We used to be afraid of the internet,
Yeah.
and but today we're just accepting what it is, and AI is come along, and then we're going to work on it. And yeah, so Samuel, thank you very much. I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We thank you
Likewise.
once more again for accepting our invitation. It was really an insightful and knowledgeable and insightful conversation. For Samuel, again, is the CEO of a startup company called Vizina. I'm going to put a website there. And for our listeners, you can go to the website, book a call for businesses you want for marketing purposes, for videos. They specialize in videos and things like that, that production. I mean, crystal high definition videos for any event that you want them to create for you. So they're in the world where, in the world of, we call them marketing fake videos. We don't call them fake, but those are AI generated, but they are real, right?
Hmm.
So we're going to share their website. I mean, visit our website is going to be up there. You're going to see it on our screen. And you could go on their website, you could see their services, and you could definitely reach out to them if you need their services. Once more, Samuel, thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing where Vizina goes from here.
Thank you.
Probably
Likewise.
in a year's time, I'm going to invite you back and say, well, let's see what Vizina has become. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Yeah, bye.